All right, I think we're live. Just checking here. Oh yeah, I go calling it out. Yeah, wow, 9 likes already, guys. Appreciate those. Let's get started with the live stream. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome to the live stream where we first review the watch list, then we trade the market open every day. What's going on? Let's see. Hope everyone had a great weekend and are ready to go, feeling good and healthy. Had a good strong breakfast, maybe a coffee. I'm just finishing up a tea here. Today is Monday. It's the 11th of May. It's 9:16 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means we got another 14 minutes till the market opens. And then we'll be trading till about 10:45 Eastern Standard Time. Check out the video description below for some FAQs and let's dive into things. I see a lot of you guys here, new and old faces. Good morning, everyone. So I got, yesterday, or I was watching my recap video yesterday, or my live stream video, and I was like, oh, I realized in the beginning you could not see the lead gappers from the day before because my face was in the way. So I'm gonna try to make sure I keep remembering to close some of these other things so you guys can see it. Let's just go through some of the lead gappers here. Kind of calm and collected. Terry says, first time here. Welcome, Terry. I hope you enjoy. Yeah, crypto. Wow, Paul, that was absolutely insane. What Bitcoin had a big old drop, huh? All right, let's get started here. VTIQW, just kind of throwing this one up here. This one's had a pretty nice run so far. Had a huge dip in the afternoon, up about 25%. 30 million shares. Price kind of in the category we're looking for. Why is no news popping up for this one? Let me quickly check Finviz, see what I can find. VTIQW, something sounds off about this one. VTIQW. I'm not totally sure here. Why are there 5 letters in the ticker? That usually represents something. I'm not sure what in this case it represents. TW. Not totally sure with VTIQW. I got to look this one up. Why? What's the reason for the extra ticker? Also, if you guys are totally new here, if you could click on the first link below the video description, you guys will see the $25,000 challenge PDF, which I just went ahead and updated a little bit. And if you go to it, you can see the checklist that we look for every morning. And I just kind of want to bring this to your attention because a lot of people, will be asking what we're doing here. What everything's about. So first, we're looking for tradable stocks with a float under 50 million, ideally less than 10 million. It has a news catalyst, so any sort of maybe collaboration, FDA approval, something like that. Strong spike history, or often called a former runner. So in the long-term chart, so the daily chart, we have something there, former spikes or something like that. Good daily chart room. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Obviously, where there is upside potential, you have the 180-day moving average ideally below the price, the current price, and not too much resistance above. Fast rate of change is basically that that it's moving quickly. It's not, a green candle isn't just 2%. It's 10, 20%. And then obviously, ideally between 2 and 7%. Pre-market, $2 and $7. Pre-market, yeah, okay. Pre-market, ideally holding the highs above VWAP, not pulling back more than 25% from pre-market high, ideally up 40% plus. Our scanner scans for 20% pre-market, and obviously not too over-traded pre-market. If it's over-traded pre-market, I'm going to be looking a little bit more for red to green moves. Otherwise, if it just started gapping at, let's say, 845 or 915, I'll probably get a little bit more aggressive into the open. So yeah, there's a little bit more here, but if you guys are interested, just check out the first link in the video description below. VTIQ. Okay, let's go ahead, go to AMC. I'm going to try to see if I can squeeze some more information out of VTIQ, but I wasn't really interested in it anyway, so I don't mind kind of skipping around a little bit here. AMC, so you guys know this one. I was talking about it a few times. We were swing trading it from $2 to $5. We actually had a really amazing swing trade in our IRA account. This was a pretty sweet trade. You can kind of see it here, and now we're above, what is it now? Above $7? Yeah, so 7.55. This is hitting a high. This is a bit more of this is a large cap. So we typically don't trade large caps in this challenge account. But if we see a nice healthy pullback with a large cap, I wouldn't mind trading it. I probably wouldn't trade breakouts on it just because, you know, the float is really, really big and it would take a lot more to move a company like this. But, you know, right now it has a lot of attention, so we might end up trading AMC, but I'm not totally sure yet. Big support at 6.5. 5.7 to 6.2 area as well. So that's kind of in this area. Let's see what we can get out of this. Definitely if we see something hit around $5, I would probably be buying some pullbacks or something like that in that area. So I'm going to put alert here. I'm not really sure if we're going to break past 7.55 pre-market high. Big resistance there, 180-day moving average. I'm just not totally sure, but really, really good fun to kind of just watch this one. Yeah, I feel like everyone's got a good AMC story growing up. You know, that's why it was kind of fun to swing trade it. But let's quickly see here. Does it even have a catalyst? I'm not even totally sure. It's got to be up for a reason. I kind of feel like this is just a giant short squeeze. Okay, report after Amazon expresses buyout interest. Okay, well, that's a pretty big catalyst. From Amazon specifically, that's pretty crazy. I wonder what Amazon wants to do with a bunch of AMCs. Maybe something mall related, since AMCs are typically in mall retail areas. All right, so that's AMC. Let's kind of keep going through the list here. Oh, and very quickly, KTOV. This one we were looking, actually, I think we were trading this one not too long ago, or at least it was on our watch list. This one just popped up on our scanner, so it's over 20%. Which makes sense. Kind of having a little bit of a run here. Probably won't be trading this one sub dollar, 180-day moving average right above it. But you know, just kind of popped up on the scanner here. FET sub dollar, probably won't be looking at it, although it has a nice little pre-market activity. HHT, this one popped up a little bit late, kind of an aggressive pullback here, but could still be a good run. At least room to 1.5, maybe some resistance at about $1. ASRT. You know what? I think I messed up my watch list this morning because I just realized I have ASRT up there, and I think I actually wanted to say APOP. I'm just looking at the charts right now, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. So this one, gapping up about 90% here. Let's go to FinViz. ASRT is showing about 81 million shares outstanding. ASRT, let's quickly go here. On FinViz, we have about an 80 million float, so a little bit on the high end. It's a US drug manufacturer company. So they have good earnings. Typically, they tend to do fairly well and hold their gains. So that's a pretty good catalyst, especially if you guys are looking for some swing trading or something like that. A ridiculous gap down area. So let's see, let's zoom in a little bit more. Actually, let's get rid of this alert. So we have some interesting kind of resistance zones, 125 and 175, a little bit under 175. And then we have a big gap down area about 2.5. So interesting areas that we want to be looking at. Right now we are about 25% under pre-market high. And that's kind of where, you know, my max area is going to be. If we pull back more than that, I might not be any more interested on that one. So out of the gates, I'm not sure if we're going to be watching ASRT, but we'll keep an eye on this one. BLPH just pulled up on our list. This one could be spiking up here. This one's priced relatively high. I think, was this the one we were trading last week? We were trading it very recently. Woo, pulling up to a former high here at 25. FDA announces, clears initiation. So that news is just coming out here. Not too shabby. Coronavirus FDA approval or FDA clearance, phase 3. Strong runner, but I'm a little bit nervous. There might be a lot of back holders on this one. If it breaks above 25, that might be really interesting. I don't know if we're going to be trading this one. It's a little bit out of my price range as well. Let's quickly go to APOP. This is a former runner. Pre-market, I actually find it one of the nicer ones. Kind of holding above VWAP fairly okay here. Pulled back about 20% from pre-market highs, about 5.5 right now. This could be a nice little pullback to 5. 3 million. Oopsie, 1 second, BLPH. Check out this gap, 150%. So this one's definitely the lead gapper on the day. Where did that just go? I was just looking at, yeah, here it is. 3.3 million shares outstanding. So this one's going to have big spikeability. Pre-market, it's being traded fairly heavily. So probably be a little bit more cautious here, looking for a red to green potentially. We've traded this one several times in the past. Both times were small profits, but nothing too crazy. What I like about this one is that we're over the $5, and looks like 4.5 is big time support. So we bounced off of that area almost perfectly pre-market and bounced 18%. This one's looking pretty nice. I think a break above 5.45, this thing could really start running. We have some big resistance about 6.2, 6.8. Should be an interesting one for sure. Good call, Satoshi. Yeah, BLPH. I remember that one being a little bit choppy myself. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I think out of the gates, obviously, we always want to be focusing on, if you're overwhelmed at any time, always think, what's the most obvious lead gapper? Well, you always want to kind of start with that one. And obviously, APOP out of the gates is definitely that one. So I'm going to be watching APOP, and then I'm going to have the secondary scanner ready to go, see if it starts picking up anything else. And then, start focusing on what has the most volume. So out of the gates, I want to be trading APOP. I also will be taking smaller position size on all the trades like usual. And I also, specifically the first trade, I want to take extra small position size. That way, if my first trade is a red trade, it doesn't, make me feel like I need to get myself super out of a big red hole, even if I hit my max stop. All good over here, Tommy. Good to see you, man. GPL. I'm not sure if I have time to look at it, but I'll hopefully look at GPL in a little bit here once the market opens. We have 30 seconds till the market opens. Hope everyone is ready to go. Get your position sizes ready. We'll be looking for about 170 share size, maybe even less. But right around 170. All right, guys, another 10 seconds till the market opens. Let me reduce my volume so it doesn't blow everyone's eardrums. Good luck, guys. Pulling back here. Don't even think I talked about the catalyst too much. Yeah, positive data for bone and marrow transfer. Big stuff there. Check out the daily here, pulling back. One candle pullback. Maybe we can squeeze the second candle out of here. That was a 5% already. If the 5 doesn't break with big volume, I'll probably be getting long on that pullback. So far, 5 holding. All right. Not too strong of a pullback. That's what I was looking for. I was hoping we would hit the 70s. Here we go. This could break past the high here. It's keeping a little eye on it. Might see a red to green move. Here we go, pulling back again. Looking for a quick little trade here. Let's see if we can break back above the 5. $73 cracking a little bit here. Selling off a little bit more aggressively than I was hoping for. Big support in this area on a lead gapper. Biggest dollar volume on this one. Bounce is a little weaker than I was hoping for. Really want to see the 9 break, 4.9, ideally hold back above 5. Nah, still pulling back here. Don't want the low of this candle to really crack. Back in the 70s. Bigger buying volume coming in. Can we break the 5? That's the big question here. $5. Looks like we might do it here. Maybe one more attempt. Going to take half profit off the table here. If we get a break of 5, I would like to hold a little bit longer. Here we go, breaking 5. That's what I was waiting for. Could be a good red to green move. Bigger volume coming in now. Remember, this is a smaller position size. I was using about $800. Ideally, I want to be using about 110. Here we go. This is the move I was waiting for. 525. See what we can get in this area. See if we can break 5. Nice. Fast rate of change. Still our lead gapper. Instantly pulling back here. I'm going to get out of this trade. I didn't like that strong pullback. It was a huge rejection. So a bit of a failed red to green move. Luckily, I played it fairly safe. I used small position size, so I wasn't too stressed out about it. But that was a quick one. Had to be fairly quick. That was a big drop. I wasn't able to get out quick enough. I wanted to take profits about like in the 520s. So I left a lot of money on the table on this one, but whatever. Good morning, Nettie. Nice to have you here. If you guys don't know, Art Studio AW, that's my mom in there. That's so funny. So I got my mom and my brother in the live stream. Talk about putting some extra stress on your trading. So we got one trade in for the day. Small winner, could have been better, but I was a little bit conservative here. Probably in the wrong places. I could have waited to take that $100 profit at 5 and then took the other one the second we were, in the 520s. That would have been ideal. I could have probably walked away with much more profits, but my first trade I've noticed is just shaky, so it's fine. Here we go, pulling back again. We have KTOV. Man, a lot of the other stocks really aren't looking as hot as I was hoping for. So APOP is definitely still our lead gapper on the day. There's going to be a lot of tension on here. There's going to be a lot of people buying dips. Remember, they have bone narrow positive catalyst. $3 million float, tiny float. So this thing is explosive. Today's style, Alex is stress trading. Yeah, maybe. That's why I drink Camilla tea. It's supposed to reduce your stress. OMX calling out ASRT. Good call, because this one is up 55%. Really nice. 80 million float, a little bit on the high side. Let me focus a bit more on APOP, but I'm going to keep an eye on ASRT for sure. This could be a little bounce here on APOP. We broke 4.5. A lot of selling volume on this one. Remember, a lot of the former spikes did not hold. So this one is a former runner, but it doesn't have a lot of good results from the spikes. We didn't really have time to review that this morning, so I apologize for that. But that's always one of those things that we talk about in the $25,000 intro video, you want to look out for. Yes, ASRT is absolutely running. I'm going to go ahead and check it out. It was just at 55%. Now it's at 65%, going full whacker mode. Ay. Super nice. So this is a red to green move that you can really just, hang on your wall and salivate around, because this is beautiful. Nice little pullback here, 5%, and then just, rips 30%, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. So this one was definitely the better pick in terms of red to green move, but you always want to be focused on, what has the most volume. ASRT is definitely coming up here. This could be a good pullback entry. 1.26 is big time multi-month support and resistance. We also have a shooting star candle here, oftentimes representing a bit of a reversal zone. So keep an eye out for that one. Good entries around 1.1 maybe. APOP still at 4.5. Remember, ASRT is an earnings winner. This could be a really nice entry for ASRT. There's such an ugly long-term chart. A lot of failed spikes to the upside. It's going to be a bit slower of a breakout. KTOV, our second lead gapper, our second biggest lead gapper. I don't like it. Sub dollar, big resistance at 0.6. Very choppy open, probably won't be trading it, although it does have, fast rate of change, which is really nice. But not as big as you might hope for. APOP pulling back again. I'm not really sure where the support's going to come on in this one. So far, it's not looking good at all. I got to say, it's not looking very nice. Still a lot of selling volume. Maybe $4 is going to be the support zone that we're waiting for. Maybe we're going to break $4 and have a reversal around 3.8. I don't know. I don't know. PTGX, that was a former gapper from, that was a Friday runner, right, Joe? PTGX, I don't know. I haven't actually looked at it. It's trading inside yesterday's candle, which is typically is a reason why is something I look for when I don't want to trade a stock. I want to see, this gap and go strategy. The most we want to be looking for are red to green pullbacks and then, breaking to new highs. This one's not breaking to new highs. This is just kind of like a leftover stock. MARK popping up on our scanners here. This one's breaking higher. Remark Holdings. Not sure. This one doesn't really have a catalyst, but it's moving pretty heavy. Float potentially south of 50 million. Big, decent buying volume on this one. I like that. Long-term wise, 1.8 clear support and resistance, multi-month. Maybe even more like 1.9 or something like that. I might have drawn this one a little too low here. Either way, big resistance right before 2. This one's a bit of a slow mover. $1 has some support. We had a bit of a red to green move. One first pullback. This could be the second pullback. This could be a nice entry for a secondary move here. I don't like the fact that it doesn't have a catalyst, but it's the second lead gapper on the day while our lead gapper is still pulling back. Looking for a bit of a continuation on this one. Took a smaller position size again. I don't like the stocks with the extended decimal places on TOS. Decent amount of selling volume on this one, so I do want to be careful here. Pulling back one more time. 9:44 a.m. I think this one does have a decent little bit of window here to run. Probably would argue there's a bit of resistance above. So far the pullback has been a little bit more aggressive than I was hoping for. Really, really not my favorite type of stock in these areas with these decimal places. Let's see, I'm put one sell order out just in case. Potentially moving higher here, looking for this one to curl a little bit. APOP still pulling back. Decent amount of sellers. I don't like that. A lot of sellers on this one. Well, let's see if we can get this to curl. Otherwise, I'm probably out of here. So far, it's looking good. I like the potential upside. There's a lot to like on this one. Still early in the morning, 46 a.m., 9:46. $24 getting chipped away. Good sign. Buyers coming in again. Buyers coming in again here. It's a bit shaky, I gotta say. Looking healthy. A little bit of slower of a first pullback than I was expecting. Or second pullback. Maybe that's why. 22. I have a stop on 23 just in case. Closing half my position here. Don't really like that this one's taking so long to move. Can't even find the price. Nah, this is why you... Trading these spreads are just so annoying. You guys hear me talk about it all the time. This is typically why I don't trade the... Let's see if we can get out on the pullback here. Luckily, I closed half the position already, really taking a lot of risk off the table. So that's good. Yeah, close to $60 loss. You know, I tried to actually get out here, but I couldn't. I was having so many issues. So a little bit annoying on that one. Luckily, it was an okay exit. You know, not really doing too great today. Our red to green move didn't work out. We luckily got out with a small profit. And then our second pullback on MARK didn't work. We're still tiny bit of profit on the day, but just not a really good. It's a bit like Friday, a little bit. Friday we also had, you know, really hunt some opportunities down. APOP might be having a bit of a reversal here. Yeah, Peter says it as well. APOP sellers drying up. So we dipped all the way down to 4.2 or 4.3. Looks like we might have a 5-minute breakout here. This could be a potential good entry at the 4.5. I'm just going to give it a little bit. Maybe we're going to see a good setup a little bit later. I have one trade left. Actually, I've been trading with such small position size this morning that I could either do like 2 trades or just one big one. I'm not sure what I'll do. I'll probably just do one normal one, unless like there's just a mind-blowingly good setup. A little bit disappointed with MARK. I thought, you know, there was a really good chance that we would retest some nice levels. Maybe it's still building up. You know, maybe I just got in a little too early. This was a really very aggressive pullback, though. We pulled all the way back below VWAP. I'm going to put an alert here, see if we start breaking to the upside. TOS fixes this issue, but they usually fix it around like 11 o'clock or something like that. And it's so annoying trying to get these entries and exits on TOS when they have the spreads like that. The best thing you can really do is join the bid, join the ask, or you just turn auto send off. And then you could say join the ask, for example, and then, you know, edit the order. You gotta make it so it's only at the 2 decimal place, right? That's really the issue here. Bitcoin's down again, 10%. Futures. So let's kind of, I'm going to take a step back. I'm just going to say, okay, what's hot on the scanners? It looks like CMT actually picking up here. $4 stock, south of 8 million float, 32 million market cap. Hot mover, having a bit of a pullback here. Big support and resistance in this area. Bit of a gap down. Could find some support here. APOP at 4.5, MARK back at 1.2. Luckily I didn't get out like 1.8 or something. What's the news on CMT? Man, tough trading day. Honestly, trading pre-market today would have probably been a good idea. Earnings. Okay, so they're up on earnings. Nice. Boy, Class comes in hot with the answer. I gotta say, I like CMT. I like what I'm seeing here. I wouldn't even mind taking a smaller position size and then averaging up into a potential winner. I don't mind doing that. I don't do it too often. I want to get a little bit better at doing that. Let's see what happens here. We've had a lot of these late bloomer stocks that kind of have a bit of a pullback and then they have really nice curls kind of going into the second half of the morning. This was about a 20% pullback. Alfred's wondering what I think about Bitcoin halving. I mean, historically, it's done good for the price. I wonder what it's going to do this time. I don't have too much of a prediction for it. I'm just going to kind of sit back and watch that one. CMT could be a really good entry in this area. I would have to reduce my position size to about 300. We've had some very aggressive pullbacks, and I don't want to jump in a random 1-minute pullback where we get, you know, 10% dip. That's not really what I'm looking for. So if we do get a 10% pullback, I would probably jump in it. Otherwise, I would look for maybe a bit more of a setup beforehand. I'd probably buy in the 360s. Risking the break of 3.5, something like that. Yeah, boy claws. I totally see at low volume. Yeah, good point. So what I typically look for is stocks trading with at least $10 million volume on the day. Otherwise, I'm fairly careful with trading it. But so far, CMT could look like it has curl potential, mainly because we're not seeing a lot of other stocks that are that great today, which is a little disappointing. APOP having a bit of a red to green move here. It's 956. This could be a VWAP break. This could be the red to green move we've been looking for, just kind of way slower. Yes, there it goes. Come on, can we break 525? I'm not sure. Let's see what we get. I would have liked to buy on this pullback. I missed that. Buying on that first, that would have been such a nice one to get aggressive on. So nice. APOP trying to have a green day here, trying to get green on the candle. Man, this could run to 620, 67, who knows? It's been a very, very nice red to green move here. This could be a bit of a cup and handle pattern. This could also just absolutely just rip. This is what I was looking for right here. So kind of right setup, just wrong timing, I guess you can say. CMT 3.7. I gotta say this one looks really good too. Look at that volume coming in on this one. It's so painful. I'm not on board with this one. Still thinking where a good entry could be. Having a bit of a fake out. I know this one's been a little bit slower of a mover. Probably, getting a lot of people on the wrong side of the trade. MARK back at 1.23. That was our entry. That was our entry price. Whew, aggressive pullback there. MARK pulling back up. Pulling back again here. Big support in the 80s. Look. Getting into this dip buy here. Strong pullback on this one. Want to be a little bit careful there. Still pulling back. This one, very aggressive pullback. Want to be careful here. Want to be really, really careful. Red move, 4.6, 4.5. Taking on a little bit of risk here. So again, you know what? looking back at it, I already want to say I should have been more cautious on something that had already such a strong fake out. But you know, lead gapper, $107 million volume. This one's really attracting the most traders. So I had a little bit more hope that this lead gapper would perform a little bit better here. So a little bit 4.6. This could pull back again, breaking 4.5. Taking on a little bit more risk than I would have liked. 4.5, 30 cents. I'm gonna have to think about how I want to trade this one. Definitely won't be a green trade though. You know, I traded fairly conservative today, but it just wasn't conservative enough, or I don't know, it just didn't really get the patterns, didn't get the follow through that I was hoping for. Still pulling back here. Wow, what an aggressive sell-off. Just absolutely unexpected. There's a little bit of buying coming in now. So much selling volume on this one. I might have to get out for a small, or for actually a fairly big loss here. Big buyers definitely coming back in, make me fairly confident that we will see a bit of a bounce. Man, oh man. Annoying. I had to cut my losses on that one, hit my max stop. So I took close half the position. Looks like I'm gonna have a red day. Hopefully it's not too bad of a red day. It's just a bit of annoying, I gotta honestly say. I was expecting this thing to bounce. It's bouncing now. Yeah. Kind of an unfortunate way to start the week, but that's just how it is sometimes. Also sold near the lows. It's always annoying as well. At least it wasn't the perfect low. So yeah, almost everything that we were looking for reversals for bounces, we did not see any follow through. So really, you know, dip buying on some really aggressive pullbacks would have been the ticket. Otherwise, didn't really work here. I'm still not out of this trade. I was waiting for one more spike back here past 65 and we didn't get it. I guess we're gonna have a second red day in a row here, but unfortunate. Friday was a bit weak, and then yeah, finally having a bit of a reversal here, just kind of getting some back, some lost profits. Come on. Close the last position. So, okay, not ideal, not the best trading day. Down 57 bucks. You know, that last trade, I could have maybe done a little bit more reflection on the fact that APOP was already getting rejected. But for a lead gapper to have such heavy rejections, it's not super common. So I could have probably squeezed out more profits on this first trade, but that's just how it is sometimes. Looks like APOP is still pulling back. I wouldn't really want to be part of it anymore. It's always a little painful to kind of see the day end like that, but oh well. Joe's wondering how I handle my taxes with all these trades. That's something TOS and your brokers typically do for you. I forgot what the form is called, but they'll give you a form at the end of the year and you just type that into your there's a slot in your taxes. You just type in the final number. Boyclaw says Momo Scanner has been quiet. Yeah, it has. Slow day. I think APOP could be a bit of a panic sell-off as well, but I also think, and just based on the daily charts, it's just, it's been really getting rejected heavy, and I should have put more attention into that, and I kind of did. That's why I was waiting for a third candle pullback here. It just pulled back way further than I was expecting. But for the fact that we had 2 red trades, it's not the worst day actually. We managed our risk fairly well. Our green trade, we had the smallest position size on. Go figure. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. So this week I'm really excited because on TD we just got some new updates. Look at APOP pulling back again like a little vicious savage. I hope it just absolutely falls off a cliff. Just unless you guys are in it. I'm just kidding. So Trade Journal, we can now filter the trades based on the patterns. So I've noticed that on this challenge account, I've been switching between my support line bounce strategy and I've been switching between my breakout strategy. And I don't like that. That's a big reason I feel like this whole challenge has been taking a little bit longer than it should have. So what I'm looking to do is I only want to be documenting trades, and every trade I should know exactly what I'm looking for in terms of, what strategy am I trading. And I want to kind of reduce the amount of strategies and patterns that I'm trading to maybe just, 5 or so. I'm going to make a list this week, and by the end of this week, I should have that totally set up, and then I'll be able to share it with you guys and figure out what my best pattern is and what my worst pattern is. And once I figure that out, then I just, completely cut off my worst patterns. That's something that I do with my crypto trading, and it's worked very well. Just kind of focusing on the best setups. I have not totally applied that yet with the $25,000 challenge because the gap and go breakout strategy is still fairly new territory for me. So I'm excited to see what we pull out of that one. APOP, this was a clear red to green move, buying the dip. Buying the third one near big support, lead gapper. You want to front run usually the big support area at 4.5. So this one worked pretty well. Could have been even more conservative with this one, but I liked our entry. I think our entry was pretty good. The bounce was a little bit slower than I was expecting. So that's why I took profits fairly early. Made 20 cents on the first exit, and then the second exit, yeah, not that great, 9 cents. But this was a clean red to green move. This was a VWAP breakout pullback on the lead gapper. So this one should have been a little bit better, but it sold off so much. So that's going to be some interesting, I think, stats we're going to be pulling out. MARK, this one's been a little bit disappointing as well. Tried to have a bit bigger move here. This actually could be a really nice ABC pattern, guys. We got the A leg, we got the B, we got the C. So can we see the D breakout? We want to see a 5-minute setup in terms of a 5-minute candle breaking higher, nice big 1-minute candle here, and then buying ideally on the pullback. So MARK could be an interesting pick. I don't think it's dead just yet. ASRT, look at that, so much rejection here. I stopped looking at ASRT when why did I stop looking at ASRT? There's a reason behind it. I think it was the volume or the shares outstanding. There's something I didn't like about it. So we had a bit of a top right here. CMT. This one, I was quite excited to trade right in this area at 3.6, and it ran up 12%. So CMT, called that one out, and this one was the one we should have traded, which is a little bit painful, I gotta say. We could, I like this setup actually a lot. We could even get into it with 400, 480. Oh my God. Might even do that. It's not too bad of a setup here. I think CMT has some big potential. Really found some support in this area. Did this one get halted? I would hope, if I was entering CMT, I would hope that this one would got halted. It doesn't look like it did. It's still kind of pulling back a little bit. I'm gonna put an alert on this one, see if we break above. Unfortunate, bit of a red day for me. You know, I could have even just stopped trading after that first trade. Something tells me that would have been a good idea because I really did not like what how it performed. And then just trading CMT would have probably been a good idea out of the gates, right at 3.6, what I was talking about. But I don't totally know if I would have done the trade. Let's quickly see what happened to AMC. So AMC just started pulling back after the market opened. Found some big support, had some nice bounces in the big support zone. 8% bounces. Not too bad on AMC. We kind of called that setup out a little bit. But I also said I'm not going to be trading the large caps in this account, which on average is probably a good idea. It keeps me from being a little undecided and moving around to too many stocks, so that's fine. I probably would only trade APOP on the dips at this point if I was going to trade it. Who knows? APOP could just be absolutely explosive. I mean, maybe by like 10:30 or 11 o'clock, it's going to break above 5 and it's just going to have a huge rip. Who knows? I'm a little disappointed that the breakouts were just a little bit weaker on it. I see a lot of downside on this one. There's probably just a ridiculous amount of bag holders on it as well that are just super happy to get out in these prices. Another thing to kind of worry about on this one. But yeah, I probably would be buying any major dip on this one. Yeah, today's like one of those days where if you end red and you didn't lose that much money, it's not that bad because you're like, wow, it could have been much worse. You know, like buying a classic red to green move, you typically buy the breakout at 5.25. And if you got into that a little bit, you know, before it broke out, you'd instantly be down 10, 11% in this one candle alone. So those are just very traumatizing kind of things that could have happened today, right? That we avoided. So that's good. I still don't really like the fact that based on our $1,000 average position size, I'm down basically 6% on the day, 5.7% on the day, which isn't that great. It's a little bit annoying, but yeah, whatever. It happens. That's just how it is. I hope you guys had some good trades at least. GCI, I'll check it out. GCI, CMT, GCI. Oy, 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 oy. So GCI has such a small amount of volume, I typically would not even look at something like this. Earnings call, reading keyword results. Better than expected results, and it's not even really moving. No, I don't think I'd be trading this one. Who knows? As a swing trade or an investment, I have no idea. It could be a great stock. For day trading momentum, there's no momentum. There's no really day trading opportunities unless you're just, leaving limit orders and hoping to maybe get a snag. But I want to be trading this account like it's already at, $10,000 position sizes. So if I can't do that, then I'm not going to trade it. And GCI is a little bit in that category. APOP back at 4.6. I probably could have held this one a little bit longer and tried to exit at a little bit better price. But then I would have risked a break at 4.3. And then maybe in 1-2 candles I can't get out, and then all of a sudden be down way past my max stop. So it's always tough when you have to kind of cut your losses at the low, but you got to do it if you want to avoid the big losses. And this is also why APOP buying the pullbacks would probably be a bit more interesting, because the breakouts are just so weak. It did have a little bit of volume coming in here, and the selling volume wasn't that strong. So if you were looking for a break back above VWAP, this would probably be a decent risk reward entry for that break. You know that if you break 4.4, you probably want to close this position. So you're not really risking more than maybe 2%. But if it potentially breaks VWAP, you're already at 6% at VWAP. So that's a 1 to 3 risk reward trade. So APOP entry right now would actually be something I would probably consider. But based on how weak it has been all day, would also make me consider to maybe not take the trade. Right now, I probably would be stopping out for a loss again. And that would be very annoying. Yeah. I just looked at the screen. It looks like I'm like picking my ear. I'm not. I'm just like playing with it. That looks very weird. Don't make too much fun of me, guys. Yeah, so like I said before, what I really want to be doing today is, or this week, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be documenting I'm going to figure out maybe the top 5 patterns I want to be trading, maybe 6 or 7. It doesn't have to be a fixed number. And then based on that, I'm going to figure out what my top 3 are, my worst 3. And then basically from all the data I have, I should be able to figure out what my best patterns are. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Because I have noticed that sometimes I get a little bit all over the place in terms of, trading different strategies on this challenge account. I want to stop doing that. Any luck today, Heiko, South Florida Fishing Channel? Or are you in the same boat as me? Yeah, GNUS, after the direct public offering, had a huge bounce. Wow, wow, wow. What was that? Did you guys see that? I'm happy I could replay that because I was not watching the screen when that happened. Looks like somebody bought as a market order when there was not a lot of orders in the order book. What an interesting stock, huh? So buying the dips on it would have definitely been the way to go. Buying the breakouts on it is like a sure way to lose money. Once you're kind of cautious and you're aware of that, you could really adjust your trading for the better. This wasn't even that big of an order that went through. There's not that much traded on this candle. Yeah, ASRT was a bit of a disappointment. MARK also super disappointment. CMT, that one I probably should have stuck to my gut a little bit and traded. APOP finally doing something interesting, which is a little bit painful to see because, you know, we closed that out. Right now we'd be back at break even, probably ending the day green. So that's a little bit annoying there. TOS is having some serious issues not showing my trades. I'm gonna have to restart the app and hope for the best for the recap video. I don't know. I wouldn't want to be hanging around with APOP. It might be a great winner. It might be just a catastrophic loser. Who knows? But I think if I kept on trading now, I'd probably be super overstaying my welcome. And then, you know, making some emotional mistakes. So I'm pretty happy to wrap up trading. A little bit annoyed that it was a red day because I feel like it could have been a green day. I think if I noticed this APOP reversal here a little bit quicker, it could have been a green day. Just kind of noticing we're crawling back here. Had a little bit of a breakout. There was a 1 minute pullback that was way too aggressive. But this was an 18% move. So there was possibilities today. Ooh, AMC, no talk with Amazon. I think there's going to be a lot of traders today that just want to trade anything that's starting to move. They're just going to start jumping on because, I don't know, just, you know, it's been such a slow morning. You also got to remember, like, by now we should be seeing stocks with well over $100 million volume. The only thing we have is APOP with that kind of volume. And it's really not that interesting to trade. Oh, here it goes. APOP just finally popped up some trades. Look at those pullbacks though. Just, oh, they're so traumatizing. Just watching them, it just gives me the shivers. Yeah, you can see how much bigger my second position size was. It was actually quite substantial compared to the first position size. 170 shares compared to 250, and this was the loss. So it's a bit annoying because yeah, the loss was bigger. I feel like some of you guys watching are long APOP right now. I just have this feeling. I hope you guys are ready to potentially cut losses. Or this thing's gonna rip. I don't know. APOP is such a scattered stock at this moment. Oh man. I hope you guys, you know, make it out green, whatever happens. Or at least, you know, manage your risk well. I know I would have probably got chopped out on this one again. But I'm actually kind of happy with my trading today. Somehow I felt like I traded tight. I traded hot moves. It was just, you know, today there wasn't follow through. So whatever, it was a red day. But I like the setups. Maybe the last trade with APOP wasn't that hot. I don't know. Tenzin is wondering what amount should buy APOP. I'm not sure. What do you mean? What's your position size or what price? I wouldn't be buying APOP right now. I'm also done with trading for the day. A lot of times when we don't have a clear morning gapper and there's not a lot of morning activity, there'll be a midday or late afternoon small cap that absolutely explodes. So if I was trading the afternoon, I'd already be thinking about, which stock that could be based on, maybe the top 10 lead gappers, small caps on the day. And maybe, tomorrow we're going to be talking about that stock. That's going to be quite interesting. And maybe it's APOP. Maybe, a lot of maybes. It's not the worst idea, Cruiser. I mean, if like 10% is my max stop, but if I'm down 4% and it's because my trading thesis was wrong, I'm already closing out that trade. There's no reason to take a 10% loss when you could take a 2% loss. Obviously, if you take a 4% loss, you're risking typically much greater chance that it's going to rip to the upside and you're kind of getting out too early. But if my trading thesis is no longer valid, then I tend to just get out of the trade. And sometimes I don't do it quick enough. And that's also a big mistake. Yeah, Paul, that's a really good answer. Like if APOP, if I entered here, 4.4, 4.3, definitely the low here at 4.36 would be my stop. And I would look maybe for a VWAP bounce or something like that. I think you could probably squeeze out a decent risk reward trade. I just, right now I think it's a bad setup, but let's say if it was a good setup, there's more volume, this thing had better follow through, something like that, it would be an interesting setup. Then you don't need a 10% stop. You could just stick with your 4.37% stop. But if this thing, starts trending higher, then you could have a trailing stop loss because the trend is your friend and you don't know how long it's going to go for. Or you start averaging out into the spikes. That's what I prefer to do. So every time it has a nice spike higher, you take some profits. That's kind of what I did on this red to green move. Nice, Ali. Nice to walk away with a little bit of profit on that. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up here. It was good fun trading today. A little unfortunate it was a bit of a red day, but it wasn't really the worst red day, and I think we managed our risk well, and we got aggressive when I think, there was decent opportunities. They just didn't have the follow-through that I was hoping for. BCRX, wasn't that one of the runs from me yesterday? No, that was BLPH. I'll have to look at it. But again, guys, I appreciate you guys all turning out. I hope it was educational and you learned something and also maybe somewhat entertaining. Don't forget to hit the like button if you did enjoy it. Checking out BCRX. I'm going to be doing the recap video a little bit later. And if you're totally new here, remember we go live every morning at 9:15 a.m. to first review the watch list and then trade the market open. So consider subscribing, and I would love to see you next time. It's been a super fun growth here in the community. BCRX, yeah, it's trending up. It has very, very small percentage change. But yeah, it's definitely trending up. Nice call. Nice to hear that, Terry. Thanks, Scott. See you guys. Ciao, ciao.